Now, I know when it comes to being in a fight, nobody wants to get hit first, right? Everybody wants to be the one that, pops off instead of getting stole, right? For this video, man, I'm going to be talking about when you take that first swing when you're locked up. And I want to break it down a little bit because not every time you take that first swing means you're going to win. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm the best, finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga, yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with a lock. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. K-Fraud TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and also make sure you hit that notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today I'm gonna be talking about when you take that first swing when you locked up. Okay, when I mean your first swing, I mean when you're getting in an altercation with someone and you're the one that pops off first. All right, because nobody wants to get hit, and a lot of people are scared to get hit, even though the only thing you got to dodge and weave is this big, is a fist. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't really got to dodge something that's that big. You got to just keep your head up, pay attention, be on a swivel, and try to bob and weave. But when it comes to getting into a fight, you always gotta bring your A game. Anything can happen in the split of 3 seconds. You get what I'm saying? And the first 5 to 6 seconds is the most important when it comes to a fight. But when you find yourself in a situation, right, and you find yourself getting in an argument, a disagreement, and shit starts getting physical or disrespectful, you're about to make it physical, you might want to be the one that swings first because you think you got the advantage if you swing first. Okay, now everybody's gonna think that. I thought that before. Growing up, that's what I always thought. But I'm gonna take y'all back and let y'all know. When I was younger, I found myself in a lot of situations and a lot of fights, right? And I had people pop off on me, Literally, we'd be arguing, oh, it ain't none. And they try to get that first blow on me, that first swing, And if your ass ain't got no, weave game, or you ain't got no fast reflexes, you're gonna get hit. I don't know if it's from when I was young and I was a jit and we used to, do pillow fighting and shit in the house when I was younger. Me and my older siblings, we cut the lights off and be in there and you can't even see. You're going off the voices, and I remember I used to, duck and, weave the pillows in the dark. You feel me? So I don't know if that helped, but when I was younger, due to getting in the, pillow fights or whatever it was, when I was younger and I got myself in situations and people would pop off on me, I'd end up whooping their ass. That's what's crazy, you see? So it's kind of like that first swing doesn't automatically mean you're gonna win. You feel me? You gotta have a mean follow-up game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to follow through. You see? Because if you don't, you're gonna lose either way. So it's not really about the first swing. It's all upon the follow-through, right? So I thought when I was a jit, that, I was bumping. You feel me? I felt like shit. All these motherfuckers that are popping off on me and shit. I'm talking about catch me off guard and all. Juvenile programs. I was playing the game of chess and got stole. Fell out the chair, got up, started fighting. Got on him. You know what I'm saying? Standing in line one time in the chow hall, got stole off on first. Got on him, and I really felt like, I'm bumping. You feel me? I'm whooping these motherfuckers who swung on me first. They had the advantage. They didn't even let me know they were gonna swing. They popped off on Frog. You feel me? And I got on their ass, right? And it made me walk around with my chest out a little more to where I ain't even care to pay attention to you before you swing on me. You feel me? You can pop off on me all you want. You know what I'm saying? And I really realized that when I got older and I found myself in situations, it wasn't that I was bumping that much. It was just the motherfuckers who were popping off on me didn't have no follow-up. You see what I'm saying? And I learned that because when I got older, I already knew a motherfucker pop off on me, I'ma whoop them from what I was thinking. So I felt like if I pop off first, then it's not only am I gonna whoop them, but I got the advantage now of getting the first lick in. You feel me? And I would pop off on people first. And then I realized there was a couple dudes that I popped off on first.
And them boys got right. That made me realize my follow-up wasn't all that. You see what I'm saying? So then I had to, you know, go back in the memory lane and pull that memory out my head and be like, damn, after all these years, all it did was encourage me to stick up for myself, because I felt like I was bumping. You know, I felt like I knew what I was doing, because a motherfucker who swung first got whooped. But once I realized I didn't really have a follow-up after I'd pop off first, I was in the same boat as the dudes I was whooping. You see? So then that's when I had to learn the first swing ain't even that important. The follow-up is. And then once I learned the follow-up and I learned what it is that I like to do after the first swing, you know, it made it to where, okay, now I could consider myself to where I know how to bump a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And you got to look at it. You know, when you get yourself into situations, you get yourself into fights, nobody wants to get whooped. Nobody wants to get knocked out, of course. Nobody wants to get their teeth, you know, knocked out, their nose broke. They don't want to get no scars on their face. Shit, you don't even want to get hit, right? So just imagine growing up and people are always stealing you first, always popping off on you, to where now you come out on top. That's going to blow your head up and make you think you really know how to fight. And I'm glad I thought that, because like I said, it made me, you know, keep my chin up, chest out, and it made it to where I wasn't scared of anybody. I didn't give a damn what race they were. I didn't give a damn if they were affiliated. I didn't give a damn how many of them there was, because I had a saying growing up, once a tank, always a tank. And I still say it to my dogs still to this day. My old boy used to say it to me. So I felt like, not knowing that they didn't have no follow-up, I felt like I'm gonna eat that shit, which I normally do anyways. You know, they take off on me, I eat it, and then I'm gonna grease them, which is what you're supposed to do. Motherfucker just hit you. But it's more difficult when someone steals you, even if you eat it, and they gotta follow through. Feel me? If they know how to follow through with what's coming after they popped off on you, you got a split second to try to get right and overturn the situation. Because now if you're fighting someone or dealing with someone that don't only know how to pop off on you, but does know how to hit hard, you know, and follow up, then it's kind of like, you know, bum. And then by the time you think and realize you got hit and you try to get right, he might already be bang, 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 you know, and hit hard, you feel me? And it might get you whooped in the beginning. You know, y'all gonna look like y'all are chucking them hands like them toys back in the day. Remember where they had the blue one and the red one? And y'all go near each other in the ring and you go like this with them, and them boys go like this until one of their heads pop off. That's what it's gonna feel like at first, as you're trying to redeem yourself because bruh hit you, but bruh trying to finish you. So both y'all gonna be going back and forth just like them little toys. Boop, 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 boop. And either someone gonna fall, someone gonna split, someone gonna get dazed. Whatever it is, you gotta keep it going, you feel me? And it isn't a game like the toys, of course, so them punches hurt. So you don't want to just sit there and be wide open, bang, 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 bum, 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 bang, 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 bum, bum, bum. This ain't the movies, you know, this real life shit. Them punches hurt. You see what I'm saying? So you got to have some type of reflexes, some blocking or whatever it is to try to come out on top, you know? And I always felt like, regardless who swings first, you know, after I learned the follow-up is the most important, not the first swing, I always learned that it's all on what you're fighting over. You get what I'm saying? I feel like people have more of a, you know, an adrenaline rush and more of a, you know, a more crave to come out on top, depending on what you're beefing over or what the fight's over. You get what I'm saying? For instance, if I rob you and we get in a fight, you fight me because I robbed you. You know, you're going to be more into the fight, more wanting to rage and whoop me because you got robbed by me. I'm just fighting you because I robbed you. You get what I'm saying? If you smash my mom, you know, I'm gonna want to beat the shit out of you. Not as much as you're gonna want to whoop me. You're the one that smashed, or vice versa. If I smash your old girl, you know, you're gonna want to grease me, and me, I'm just fading because I smashed your old girl. You see what I'm saying? So it's all on like what it's over. You feel me? I feel like there's a leverage thing there, you know, if you're down the fade, you know. Now if you're someone that's chicken, scared, you're scared to throw the first swing and you're scared to get hit, then no matter what someone does to you, you know, if you go in there already in your mind that you're gonna lose, you went in there like halfway pump faking with your tail tucked from the get-go, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna lose. You're already cutting yourself short by off rip acting like you know you're gonna lose. You gotta go in there, even if you feel like you'll lose, you ain't never supposed to think that. You're supposed to go in there and treat it like it's any other situation. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you find yourself arguing with someone on the streets or locked up and you decide to swing first, make sure you go through with it all, man. Because I've seen so many people in prison, right? Like this. Boys are talking, right? Whole dorm watching, waiting for someone to pop off. You feel me? When one finally pops off, next thing you know, this one that got hit, done got the fight knocked out of him, all that rah-rah and shit, yeah, it's out the window. Then this one feels big and bad, right? Or when he pops off, he don't follow through after the pop off, so the dude right here beats his ass. That's like what you see. You know what I'm saying? You literally see one get hit, do nothing about it. Or you see one get hit, no follow-up, and ends up getting whooped by the person he popped off on. You see? Those are literally the two things you see all the time. You know, it's very rare that you see someone pop off and follow through. You feel me? And win. You know what I'm saying? Because the only time you see that is when the person they popped off on and followed through on is someone that the fight was already knocked out of. Someone that didn't know how to fight, that wasn't going to fight, that wasn't even trying to win after they got swung on. They're more trying to protect themselves from getting hit than to hit the motherfucker that's trying to hit them. You see what I'm saying? So you got to like make sure you go through with it, you know? And now, if someone does pop off on you, you know, if they swing on you first, and it happens, you know what I'm saying? I literally got in a fight with some dude 3 years ago at the fair over here in Davie, you know what I'm saying? And I hit him with the okie doke tactic. I knew he was going to try to swing on me, right? So I wanted to fade. He didn't want to fade. It was like some street shit, right? And I seen him 4 years later. He tried to shake my hand. Oh, ain't none of that, da da da, you know. Long story short, so we go to fight, right? When we go to fade, as we walking around, you know, behind the food court to line that shit up, I seen a brick on the floor, right? He turned around, he threw it. I said, hold on, let's go over here, Because I know how I am, you feel me? He could be knocked down, I might still hit him with the brick. So I said, no, hold on, go ahead. So I spared him off rip. We go over there in the cut. You know, he talking shit, da da da. I said, man, go ahead, man, get right, take your shirt off. So he took his shirt off, I'm facing him. He take his shirt off, you know, boom, 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 I let him get right. What do? I turn to the side, I'm talking. I turned completely this way, put my back towards him, and went to take my shirt off, right? He thought that was his cue to spark. So when I turned this way and went like this to take my shirt off, as my shirt's over my head, he ran up and tried to pop off on me. Now when my shirt was over my head and he tried to pop off on me, he missed from with the shirt. He didn't even hit me in the fucking head. He missed, and I grabbed a hold of his arm, and like quickly when I leaned over, he was like, I had his arm and I like scooched him up my back over me. Boom. Like I hip tossed his ass over me. He was on the ground. He went to get, I followed through. Bum, bum, bum. Got on top of that boy. Painted him at the fair. You see what I'm saying? But I set him up for the okie doke because he thought he was going to just get off on me by popping off first. You see? I got that tactic to where I know how to get out of these situations sometimes. You feel me? And if he would have followed through, you know, if he would have like swung like that and then I grabbed and then he would follow through the other one, then I would have been in some shit and try to get out of it and turn around and line that shit up face to face, mano a mano. You feel me? But he didn't have no follow through. You see? That was the thing. He thought he was just going to be able to pop off on me. Maybe I'd curl up because he's behind me or whatever the case may be. And that's what happens in a lot of situations. You feel me? People ball up. People feel like they've already lost. They can't see where they're getting hit from. You know, they panic, you know. You got to learn to, you know, take advantage of being prepared to get hit. That's it. You know, not saying just stand right there and walk right into it. You know, I've done that shit before just to show people I eat that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got in a fight in my neighborhood on the block one time, and the motherfucking one of the brothers of the kids we were fighting was screaming, oh, who want to fight me now? Who want to fight me? So out of all 20 of us, who's the one person? Me. So I said, oh, line that shit up, nigga. So I ran down there, and we go to fighting. And we're, right? And he's throwing him, I'm throwing him, and I walked right into one. Boom. And when I walked into it, I realized that shit was pussy. I realized it was powder puff. You feel me? So I said, oh, that's all you got, bro? I eat that shit. And I started walking towards him. He threw another two. Boom, boom. Stole me. Boom, boom. And I was like, man, that's all you got, bro? I'm finna thrash you. I realized he hit soft. You get what I'm saying? But if I was someone that wasn't with the shit, and he would have stole someone like that from the side or in the back of the head, they would have balled up and panicked and felt like, made bruh feel like you knew how to bump. But in all reality, a lot of times, people are whooping people who don't know how to bump. You know what I'm saying? They're whooping people who don't even care to defend themselves, that just want to protect themselves the best they can. You know, which means ball up or try to get away, get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take advantage of, if you swing first, learn to have your follow-up, man. You know what I'm saying? And if someone swings on you first, it don't matter if you see it coming or not. If you don't see it coming and he connects, as long as you got that shit programmed in your head to follow through, you know, you at least will have the upper hand if he don't follow through after he steals you. Or you have at least the upper hand to kind of even it out to where if he's following through, but you're up on game, you're still in there. You know, it's still fair going. You feel me? So that first popping off shit don't really even matter as long as he ain't knock you out. You see what I'm saying? You got to be prepared for these type of things, you know, because people will try to steal you first, you know, and that's if you don't see it coming. Now, if you see it coming and you're able to weave it or do whatever you do, or you know they're that type of person to swing on you first, like the boy I fought at the fair, you know what I'm saying? Literally, this shit was like 3 years ago. But like, if you know they're going to do something like that, you know, just follow your plan like I did. I knew. That's why I turned my back on him on purpose and went to take my shirt off over my head. And then after the fade, my tank top I was wearing was all ripped and he had blood all on him. He was leaking. Not to mention, when I had flipped him over and got on top of that boy and I was whooping him like this, it was over some like East Davie and West Davie shit. So when I was on top of him hitting him, I'm telling him east side on top like I always fought, nigga. You feel me? Or whatever. And we know we fighting. And he went to hold him the wrists like this. And I'm like getting loose, hitting him, getting loose, hitting him, to where eventually, as he was holding both my wrists, I just opened my arms real wide like I was gonna hug him. And he still held my wrists. So when I went like this, he went like that, and I headbutted him. Boom, go to sleep. And that literally made him go, and then I stole him. Like woke him right back up, started banging him, ground and pounding him. You feel me? So I went through with, you know, I fell through. I kept doing it. And then after the fight, when he was all bloody, my tank top was ripped. I said, clean yourself up. He cleaned himself up. And he kept calling me a real one. You a real one, bro. You a real one. About 1,000 times. And I called one of my dogs on FaceTime. That was one of his homeboys. And handed him the phone so they could see him all busted up. Live and direct. Right there. You feel me? But it was only because I'm prepared. I know the type of lifestyle I used to live. I know the type of people I grew up around. I know the type of people that would, you know, turn in their grave if they seen me not at least stand up for myself. You feel me? So it's like, I know the type of people that I could run into. I know the type of people that, you know, could possibly run up on me, you know. So I know it's only going to be worse if I don't at least try to learn, you know, to have a follow through. You feel me? Which, good thing I already learned that shit at a younger age, you know. But it's like, if you're someone that don't, you know, and you find yourself with the lifestyle I used to live or around the type of people I grew up around, you're going to find yourself hurt. And your life's going to feel way worse and harder than it would be, you know, if you didn't, you know, follow through or protect yourself. So you got to always make sure, whether you swing first, go all the way through with it, you know, follow through. Take advantage of that first hit. If you got him, if you stole that boy and you connected and it was a good, you know, good one, follow through, take him up through there. Because if he could do it to you and follow through and take you up through there, he would. You see what I'm saying? That means that you can't take it easy on him now. You feel me? Because how do you know they would take it easy on you? They probably want it. You know what I'm saying? 10 out of 10, they probably want it. Even if it's a friend of yours, you feel me? Like them friendly fades. Them friendly fades get tricky. Because it's like, you don't really want to knock your dog out like that. But you don't know, does your dog really want to knock you out? You feel me? So that's why you can't really do them friendly fades. You know, you got to like line that shit up for real. You know? But it ain't all about the first swing. It's about the fall through after that. Follow up. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I want to come on here and break it down with y'all about. You know, if you're somebody that's scared to get hit, you're going to eat that shit. You know what I'm saying? Unless you get knocked out. Anybody can be knocked out. You feel me? But don't just throw the flag in off rip because someone stole you. You know, one time we was at the corner store over here in my hood. One of my dogs, we walk in over there. There's another one of my dogs. We're chopping it up. My other dog calls my dog out. Next thing you know, them boys are going back and forth. I'm laughing and shit. What'd he do? He pop off. He steal my other dog. My other dog that was talking all that rah-rah. He see blood. He panic. He want to leave now. He don't want to fight. My other dog knocked the fight out of him. You feel me? Me and like 5 of my other dogs is yelling at him. Man, hell nah, bro. Hell nah, bro. Hey, look at your shit. Look at you. He was spooked, bro, because he was leaking. A lot of people see blood and don't want to fight. You feel me? He was 100% not wanting to fight. He started yelling at us for bringing him over there and all this shit. You feel me? And next thing you know, we amped him up so much, made him get in there and fight my other dog right there at the gas station. They faded right there at our corner store. And guess what? My dog that got his shit split greased the other one. You feel me? So he popped off on him, but he didn't follow through and beat his ass. He just popped off on him, knocked the fight out of him, and had him leaking. He redeemed himself and beat his ass. You feel me? But even though he beat his ass, all of us now know if he sees blood, you know, he's gonna spook. You feel me? So it's kind of like, yeah, you showed us you whooped him, but we showed you you could whoop him, even though you're bleeding. But you showed us, you see blood, you wave the flag. You feel me? You don't want to be one of them people. You don't know what you're capable of doing until you do it. You feel me? So you got to learn to get in there. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You got to just get in there. That's all. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if you swing first or you get swung on. You feel me? If you swing first, you better make sure you follow through. Don't be one of them people that swing and then get whooped by the person they swung on. If that happens, you had the advantage. That means you did not do it right because you was a step ahead. You feel me? You're here, they're here. Just because you swung first, you already got the situation in your hands of how you want it to go. You feel me? So might as well fall through with it. Keep it going. Keep your head up at all times. Pay attention to what you're swinging at. Don't just throw hands. Learn to fight. You feel me? There's a difference from just throwing hands than there is paying attention to what you're hitting. Peep your punches, your kicks, your knees, your elbows. You get what I'm saying? Try to throw some combos out there. Headbutt. Break his nose. Do whatever it is you got to do. You feel me? Make it to where you know he don't know what's coming. You feel me? Throw a punch, and then a bow and a knee. You feel me? Another punch, then a headbutt. Do whatever it is. Throw all that shit out there. Use everything you got. And I guarantee you, no matter what color that person is you're fighting, white, black, Asian, fucking, I don't care what it is. I guarantee you, you start throwing some weird combos at their ass, different things, man, they gonna back up, man. They gonna think you know something. And really, what you know is what you're doing. You know, it ain't like you grew up doing, but you know, you gotta take the risk. Bro done already crossed the line by trying to put his hands on you, and you done already crossed the line by swinging on him first. You feel me? So you might as well just take it there and give it your all, man. You know, when it comes to anything in life, give it your all. You see what I'm saying? That's it. You feel me? And I feel like at the end of the day, it don't matter who would swing first. Don't ever be scared to get swung on. I'm not scared to get swung on because, like I said, I've been swung on multiple times and I found myself on top of the situation. You see? And after a while, you learn that this shit ain't glass. You feel me? And once you learn your shit ain't glass and you got a solid jaw and you can eat whatever people throw at you a lot of times, you know, you'll feel that shit the next day or two. You feel me? But other than that, you know, you learn to kind of like get in there. And then after learning how many days it hurts afterwards from, you know, getting hit, then you learn to kind of like, okay, now I'm not only going to get in there, I'm going to try to not get hit as much. I'm going to try to dodge and weave at the same time as getting in there. And before you know it, man, you're used to the shit. And then it's like riding a bike. You fell off that shit how many times? And how many times did you get on it to fall? Same thing, you feel me? So I want to come on here and talk to y'all about that. If you find yourself locked up or on the streets, it's up to you if you swing first or get swung on. Just what's involved in both of those is following up. If you get swung on, bro don't follow up. If you're following up after he swung on you, you got the advantage. You swing first, you follow up, you keep the advantage. That's it. That's all I got for y'all today, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Have y'all ever been in a situation to where you got swung on first and you ended up coming out on top because whoever swung on you didn't follow up? Or if you ever swung on someone, popped off on their ass, and you fell, you know, you fell through and you followed up and you greased them. If so, drop it in the comment section, man. Because I know for a fact, I ain't the only one that's been through these type of things. But I want to come on here and chop it up with y'all and talk to y'all about this. Y'all let me know what y'all think. That's what the comment section's for. And I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. And like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle. And until next time, this the one and only, I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though.
I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though, cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.